I sure wouldn't want one of our guests to get in trouble. Where'd you say you were working?
Acorn Falls, the new sawmill.
You know, I could have sworn that sawmill was shut down for the weekend.
Yeah, well, it is, but they gave me a little, extra employment.
Well, why don't we give them a call?
Well, that's not necessary.
Whatever you say. I just want you to know I'm here to help the prisoners all I can, Mr.
Watkins.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Watkins. Mr. Watkins. You spell that with one L or two?
The Fugitive. A QM production. Starring David Jansen as Dr. Richard Kimball, an innocent victim of blind justice, falsely convicted for the murder of his wife. Reprieved by fate when a train wreck freed him en route to the death house. Freed him to hide in lonely desperation, to change his identity, to toil at many jobs. Freed him to search for a one-armed man he saw leave the scene of the crime. Freed him to run before the relentless pursuit of the police lieutenant obsessed with his capture.
The guest stars in tonight's story, Earl Holliman, Colin Wilcox. Also starring Barry Morse as Lieutenant Philip Gerard. Tonight's episode, The Good Guys and the Bad Guys.
Sergeant Tobias? That's right. Lieutenant Gerard?
Indiana's a long way, Lieutenant. I wish we could have delivered the man we promised.
Yeah, so do I. Any new developments?
Last report was about 8:45 this morning. Kimball was going to work at the stockyards, saw the arresting officers, and took off.
8:45 is about 2 hours ago.
Can't go far in 2 hours.
You don't know Kimball.
Well, we've got all the highways blocked.
That's not enough. What about the towns around here?
Well, our jurisdiction doesn't include incorporated areas, but we've sent bulletins to all the local police.
Which ones?
Acorn Falls, Drover City, Westlake Center.
Mind if I pay them a visit? I want them to know the kind of man they're dealing with.
Meaning you or Richard Kimball?
Perhaps both.
In a civilized society, a network of laws protects man against his own brutality. But for Richard Kimball, living outside the law, the civilized world has become a jungle. His only protection is his animal instinct, his will to survive. But always there is the hunter, even here in Drover City, Montana.
Mister, you under arrest. Hey, come here. Come here. Hey! Hey, boy! Hey, 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 hey. open, that makes him my prisoner.
Hey, we're hitting on the sheriff right now, and we're gonna let him decide. I'm gonna tell you that. Hey, Sheriff! These vigilantes are trying to take my prisoner from me! Come on now, let him decide it. They're trying to take my prisoner from me.
Let's act like
These vigilantes are trying to take my prisoner from me.
Does it make any difference to you who takes your prisoner, mister?
I don't even know what the charges are.
What are you, new in town?
Yeah, I'm just passing through.
Get the rope off the man, will you, Roy, Wally?
Oh,
What's your name?
Watkins, Bill Watkins.
You see, Mr. Watkins, during Vigilante Roundup Week, we got us a special law here in Drover City. Anybody who's not wearing Western duds is treated like an outlaw or a renegade.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a game we play. You see, the vigilante that corrals the most outlaws, he wins himself a pot of prizes.
But look, if it's a game, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me go. I got a new job to get to.
I tell you what, the best donation to the Marshal's Pension Fund wins the argument. How's that?
I don't think that's fair.
I'll donate $5.
$5, huh?
Come on.
Well, I think your job's probably worth more than that, isn't it, Mr. Watkins?
Yeah, I know, but I've only got about $3 on it, you know.
$3, huh? Hank, what about you? Come on, you're my deputy. Part of this fund's for you.
I bet it is. It's $6, and that's all I'm gonna give.
Here's 3 more. That makes it 8. That's all I got.
Hank?
That ain't fair, Charlie.
Here's your $5, Hank. I tell you what, here's a couple bucks more. Why don't you go buy some beers, courtesy of the pension fund? Guess he's all yours, Roy. Just take good care, Mr. Watkins.
My job. Sure.
I tell you what, you get down to Vigilante headquarters, you give them a call. They'll understand.
Wait a minute, what is Vigilante headquarters?
The school cafeteria. That's where we keep prisoners.
You have any trouble, tell your boss to call me. Marshal Charlie Judd.
No, that's easy enough. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's all right. Yeah. It's easy. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. You come to make a donation?
No, thank you.
That cell there, that's the only thing that was left when Slade's buddies broke in here and burnt down the jail.
Yeah, are you...
Do you know that happened 100 years ago?
Are you the marshal?
I'm his deputy. Can I help you?
Police business. Where can I find the marshal?
Well, I just left him off the rodeo arena, but he's not there now.
Can you find him for me?
Well, why don't you sit down a while? He'll be back sooner or later.
Well, this is very important. I don't have too much time, so I'd appreciate it if you'd...
Well, and try the high school cafeteria. That's Vigilante headquarters. His girlfriend, that's her picture there. She's a hostess there.
Where is that?
Oh, it's just a couple blocks down the street. You can't miss it. Hey, Lieutenant, hold it. I better go with you. You're dressed like that, you liable to hand up a prisoner.
Coffee still hot? If we don't have enough sandwiches...
Tell me another one.
Another outlaw?
Hey,
Roy! Put his name on the tag, Laura.
Mr. Watkins, Laura McKelvey. She's one of our jailers.
Hello, Mr. Watkins. Welcome to your jail.
How's for some pie, Laura?
Help yourself, Roy. Excuse me. I'm afraid this makes you an official prisoner, Mr. Watkins.
For how long?
Well, just till 6 o'clock.
Look, I have to leave town before then.
Could be worse, Mr. Watkins. Might have been sentenced to live here. Come on, I'll get you some coffee. Black?
So I have to be in Acorn Falls for a new job.
Did you tell Roy or the marshal that?
They didn't seem to think it was important.
No, it's not. Not compared to 48 hours of games. Would you like to sit down over here? You see, Mr. Watkins, they're very serious about this business. Thank you. About 100 years ago, the vigilantes drove all the outlaws out of Dover City. But nowadays, it's a Chamber of Commerce affair. And the vigilantes are elected in a popularity contest. And then the vigilante who catches the most outlaws becomes the chief vigilante. And he gets free drinks and free dinners, free tickets to the carnival, his picture in the local newspaper.
You don't approve?
Grown men and women dressed up in cowboy outfits, playing cops and robbers.
But you wouldn't mind then if I just disappeared?
They'd mind, Mr. Watkins. Like it or not, I have to live here. I'm part of all this. There's another outlaw. Boys?
Hey, Roy! Hank's got himself a prisoner. Come on, let's give him a bad time.
Watkins, you're about to spill your coffee.
Hello, boy, Hank. You finally got yourself a prisoner, huh?
Got yourself a live one, Hank?
Business, boys. The lieutenant here is from Indiana.
Excuse me?
Mr. Watkins, that's the kitchen.
Just looking for a phone.
Well, there's one here in the office you can use.
Thank you.
Now, Lieutenant, you go on in there and ask for Laura McElvey. And if the marshal living in there with her, she'll know where he's at.
All right, thanks.
Oh, wait a minute, mister, now. Wait a minute. Now, those city clothes sure make you look like a real outlaw, right? Right. How do we know for sure you're a real policeman? Hey.
Thought you might need the directory.
Got me another one!
Hey, Laura! Laura, this policeman's looking for your boyfriend.
Miss McKelvey, I'm Lieutenant Gerard. The deputy told me I might find the marshal here.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant Gerard. I haven't seen him since this morning. May I get you some coffee?
Wait, Charlie tells us she sees him every morning.
Why not? He's got to marry her, hasn't he?
Sure he is.
At least that's what folks been saying for years now. Gotta be a fact.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Lieutenant, if the marshal was...
Where are you, Lieutenant? I've seen him someplace.
And where? Where have you seen him?
Well, I don't know. Newspaper pictures, maybe, or mug shots, photo. I can't say, but May I keep this?
Yeah, sure. Take another one for your deputy.
Thanks.
Yes, this Kimball is a desperate man. Clever, resourceful, courageous even.
You sure must mean a lot to you, Lieutenant. I mean, coming all the way from Indiana just for him.
A man's my responsibility. It's my job to find him. I'm sure you'd do the same.
Well, I don't get too much fun out of traveling.
I'm not sure fun has much to do with it, Marshal. A police officer has an obligation to the law.
Well, the way I look at it, most of the people who make the laws aren't exactly perfect, you know? So I figure that the laws can't be too perfect. Maybe every once in a while they deserve to get broken. Care for a belt? It's pretty good booze.
No, thanks. Anyway, I'd soon let the courts make those judgments for me.
What do they know about booze?
I was talking about your evaluations of the law. I find them questionable, to say the least.
Well, I guess that depends on your outlook, Lieutenant. Let me tell you something. A few years ago, I came back from Korea. I was a big hero. I had a lot of medals and a hunk of shrapnel on my leg. But I had no job, no money. I had nothing. Well, the good people in this town made me their marshal. I mean, it don't pay much, but it's steady. I'm grateful to these people, Lieutenant. I really am. So when one of them gets himself in trouble, well, I consider Him first and the law later.
And how would you consider a man like Richard Kimball?
Well, I can't say. I guess I'd have to get to know him first.
Well, if you happen to stumble across any leads, you can reach me through the state police.
Sure thing, Lieutenant. Sorry you can't stay around for the roundup, but I guess a lawman like you must cover a lot of territory, huh?
Well, I might just stay in town for a while, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, if you get hungry, the Saddlehorn Cafe down here has a chicken fried steak for $1.10. Hey, wait a minute. You sure don't want to forget that.
Thank you.
Hey, how's my best girl?
Charlie, I'd like to speak to you for a
Later,
minute.
sweetheart.
Sure.
Well, who put the burr under her tail?
And I've been giving her a hard time about your engagement.
Oh, well, they're always kidding around about something. Say, how'd you make out on your phone call?
Not so good. I don't show up, I don't have a job.
Well, come on, I'll call her myself. Come on, there's a phone right in here in the office. I sure wouldn't want one of our guests to get in trouble. Where'd you say you were working?
Acorn Falls, the new sawmill.
You know, I could have sworn that sawmill was shut down for the weekend.
Yeah, well, it is, but they gave me a little, extra employment.
Well, why don't we give him a call?
Well, that's not necessary.
He didn't follow you across 4 states out of dedication.
You figure it out.
No, I want to hear how you figure it.
I don't know.
What difference? I'd be willing to bet my badge as a price on your head.
Did he tell you that?
Are you kidding? I know his type. He's not about to split the take with anybody. You know, he's the kind of cop I can't stand, Kimball. Spouting all that righteous poetry about the law and the obligations of the police officer. And all the time he's planning to cash a man's life in like an empty pop bottle.
Well, maybe he thinks he's entitled. It's like you and your pension fund.
He makes a lot more dough than I do, Kimball. Why should he cash in at all? On your feet. Come on. Sorry to do this to you, Kimball. Can't afford to let a good thing go. Hey, Laura, come in here a minute, will you? This is a wonderful girl, Kimball. She walked through fire and brimstone for me.
Charlie, what is it?
His real name is Kimball, honey. He's wanted for murder.
For murder?
Mm-hmm. He had me fooled for a while, too. Don't fret about it. His reward's gonna pay for our wedding. We just got a couple of things to do before we collect, that's all.
Have a happy wedding, Miss McKelvey.
Pay no attention to him, honey. He's a sore loser.
Charlie, do you have to turn him in? He seems so decent.
Decent? Honey, this man is an out-and-out wife killer. Look at that. The only problem is I can't leave him in that cafeteria. Somebody's liable to walk in and recognize him and start asking questions. I can't lock him up in a cell, not until this Gerard's out of town.
Charlie, what are you talking about?
Gerard could walk into my office, see Kimball, and demand half our wedding money. I gotta be sure he's gone before...
Charlie, starting our marriage out on that kind of money...
That kind of money, Laura, can buy us a fancy wedding and a fancier honeymoon. If the reward's big enough, we may even be able to move away from this town. That's what you want, isn't it?
Suppose there wasn't a reward. Would you still turn him in?
Honey, it's my job. I got an obligation to the law, you know that. I just want to do it my way, but I gotta get rid of Gerard first. And I need your help, Laura.
Why? I mean, why me?
Because I can't be seen with him. You're the only one I can trust. There's no reason to cut Hank in on this thing.
It's wrong.
Haven't you been listening to me? This is for us. This is it, that day we always talked about.
Yes, we've talked it to death.
Don't I know that, Laura? But this is different, honey. This time we got it all. Okay, now. What are you so worried about?
Chicken fried steak and coffee. Thank you.
Oh, Lieutenant, did you find the marshal yet?
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago. Any other police officer would have his whole force alerted by now.
What for?
You mean he didn't tell you? There's a manhunt in progress for Richard Kimball. The marshal ought to put you to work on it.
What'd you say his name was?
Richard Kimball, wanted for murder. Maybe in this area.
Well, he's right here in this town. I've seen him.
You've seen him?
Yeah, the vigilantes got him over at the high school cafeteria.
Does Marshal Judd know about this?
Yeah, he knows it. He's the one that sent him there. Must have slipped his mind.
Don't be grateful. I told you before, I'm not doing it for you.
Hey! Sarge. Yeah, listen, I was just talking to a guy. He says he spotted Kimball over in Aiken Falls near the new sawmill. That's right. Hey, that Lieutenant Gerard has a radio in his car, doesn't he? Well, if I were you, I'd let him know about this right away. He's going to want to be in Aiken Falls when you grab this guy. Say, Sarge, by the way, what's the reward on this guy's capture, you know? Well, why don't you find out for me, okay? Maybe we can make a few bucks on this thing. Right.
Calling car 74. Car 74, come in, please.
7-4 here.
We just got a report, Lieutenant. Kimball's been spotted over in Acorn Falls.
Acorn Falls? How far is that from Dover City?
About 12 miles.
Where'd the report come from?
Dover City. The marshal called in and reported it.
The marshal is a liar, Sergeant. Kimball's still in Dover City.
Mr. Kimball, in here, till it's dark. It's clear, come on. In the cell, over there, Mr. Kimball. No. Don't test me, please.
Miss McKelvey? A wedding drink, huh? Would you tell me something? Why the deception? Why did you just keep that gun on me all the time?
Oh, well, Charlie thought it would be safer if you thought I was on your side.
Charlie is a great gambler.
What do you mean?
Well, he did gamble. His reward against your life.
Mr. Kimball,
It's any consolation to you. Charlie's not gonna grab the reward and disappear.
what are you talking about?
There's no reward.
Of course there's a reward. That's why Charlie went through all this.
What about you?
Because Charlie wanted me to. And Charlie's what I want.
You sell yourself short, you deserve more.
Mr. Kimball, do you think you're in a position to pass judgment on him?
Not on him, on you.
Charlie?
I'm looking for him too, miss. Where is he?
I don't know, Lieutenant Gerard. I thought he was with you. He might be on the Carnival Midway making his rounds.
Miss McKelvey, since the first moment I arrived in this town, I've been sent on one fool's errand after another. I'm getting a little tired of it.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant Gerard. Could I help? I mean, could I take any messages in case he calls?
Yes. You can warn the marshal that I intend to file charges against him.
What charges?
Impeding justice. Dispensing false information to fellow police officers.
Lieutenant Gerard, I'm sure Charlie wouldn't do anything like that. There must have been some mistake.
The only mistake, Miss McKelvey, was giving him that badge in the first place. I can promise you we won't have it much longer.
Miss McKelvey? I heard what Gerard said. He hasn't got much of a case.
He seems to think he has.
No witnesses.
What about Hank, Charlie's deputy?
Well, he's never seen me in custody. No one has. Charlie made sure of that. And you're not going to testify.
No, of course not. But they can make me testify.
Not if you're married.
No, I hadn't thought of that.
No worries. You're the only witness that can help Gerard, and you're not available.
What about you?
No, Charlie, I'll say that I was there. He was holding me in custody for Gerard, something like that.
No, I mean they could make you testify.
You're right.
I wish to heaven you'd never come to this town.
I am sorry I complicated things for you.
Hey, Lieutenant, I've been looking all over for you. Sir, I got a report they spotted Kimball over in Aiken Falls.
You're a liar, Judd. I knew he was in the cafeteria when I showed you his picture.
Where'd you get a crazy idea like that?
From your deputy and the handcuffs you left in the cafeteria office. If you're trying to protect Kimball...
Look, just calm down, will you? I mean, come on over here a minute. I got Kimball safe and sound. He's all yours. But the reward's all mine. Fair enough?
What reward?
Don't give me that, Lieutenant. Now, I'm willing to be fair about this. You want Kimball, you can have him. You want the publicity, it's all yours. All I want's the price on his head.
Keep it up, Judd. You're making my job a whole lot easier.
What kind of talk is that?
I've already got more charges against you than you can spell. Lies, false information, conspiracy.
Okay, just take it easy, will you? We'll split the reward right down the middle. Remember, it's me that's got Kimball.
You'll never give up, do you? You better have Kimball in custody, Judd. As you maybe can lay your way out of some of these charges, but aiding and abetting a convicted murderer, I could really make that stick.
Hello, Marshal's office. State Police, yes. No, the Marshal isn't in right now. May I take a message? There's no what? Are you sure about that? I mean, the Marshal was so positive. They were... Yes. Yes, thank you. I'll tell him. Mr. Kimball? I'm letting you go.
Well, what game are we going to play now?
No games. I'm turning you loose.
No reward.
That isn't the reason, and I think you know it.
You're protecting the Marshal.
Yes. Yes, I'm protecting the Marshal. Mr. Kimball, I know he cheats, and he lies, and he makes a fool out of me. But Charlie Judd is all I've got, and I can't let you destroy him. Now go on.
Don't get on the side! Huh, you dog? Why, you dog?
Mr. Kimball, in the backseat of my car.
Right side, don't get it on there now! Hey, Marshall! Hey, baby!
Well, honey, this lieutenant's got some hard-nosed ideas about me. I figure look at Kimball might soften him up. He's right in here, Lieutenant.
I hope so.
On your feet, Kimball.
This is another one of your jokes, Marshal.
I swear to you, Lieutenant Kimball was...
Charlie, Listen, Mr. Kimball was here.
Where is he, Laura? Where?
Charlie, I had to let him go.
You had to let him go. What are you talking about? You had to let him go. That don't make sense, Laura. Do you know what he's doing in there? Right now, he's going to get my badge taken away from me. He's going to send me to jail.
That's why I let Kimball go, Charlie. I did it for you.
What do you mean you did it for me? You are a used-up old maid who couldn't do nothing for nobody. Now start talking sense.
Charlie, I did it for you. Don't you understand? Don't you understand? Gerard doesn't have a case. Without Kimball, he doesn't have any witnesses. Charlie, I did it for you.
The highway patrol's on the way. Meanwhile, consider yourself under arrest.
Hold on, Lieutenant. I want to hear the charges.
Well, we can start with aiding and abetting and work our way down to just plain bad cop.
You can't prove that. You see, without Kimball, you got no witnesses.
Will you testify, Miss McKelvey?
Of course she's not going to testify against me. Tell him, honey. Laura? Look, Laura, I know I deserve it after what I just did in there, but I was scared, honey, that's all. I guess it don't mean much me saying I'm sorry again, but I am sorry, Laura.
Don't, Charlie.
You're right. Laura, you're right. A slob like me doesn't deserve no forgiveness, not after hurting you like I just did. But all I can say is I do love you. Laura.
Charlie.
See, Lieutenant, you got no witnesses.
You're wrong, Charlie. I'm going to be an old maid. But they make excellent witnesses. I'll testify, Lieutenant Gerard.
Wait a minute, wait!
Good! Let her go. I said let her go.
Laura! Laura!
Well, looks like your cowboy's hit the end of the trail.
Those Dover City saloons are going to miss him.
Well, if it's any consolation, he's the third one through here in the last hour.
I suppose they're entitled once a year.
Okay, take him home.
Thank you.
Well, I never thought I'd be filling out a receipt for you, Charlie. Like you was a bag of groceries or something.
Save it, Hank.
That ought to do it.
Take it easy.
Say, Charlie, is there anything I can say to Laura for you?
Yeah. Tell her to... Oh, forget it. If I said what I was thinking, he'd just find another law to slap me with.
So you're in charge here now.
Yeah. Till next month when the town council meets.
Marshall's pension fund. One of your first official acts might be to toss this into the...
Come on, get in. Your car break down or something?
No, I just ran a little short of cash.
A man's image can be shaped by society's opinion of him. A fugitive must ask himself then, how long can a running man hold out against that opinion? How many miles, how many accusations before he becomes what society has labeled him?
I mean, how was I supposed to know she was a co-ed? What with the boys wearing their hair as long as they do and the girls wearing crew cuts? Well, anyway, she's here in the truck with me, see? When all at once, whomp, goes the universal joint. There we are out in the middle of nowhere and me a married man. Hey, wake up, buddy. is in the line. I can get you in, I ain't so sure I can get you out. Hey! Hey, buddy!
Good behavior Sammy, they call me. That's one thing they teach you on the inside. How to play the game. Right, friend? Tied one on the minute you got out, right? So did I the first time. How much time did you spend at the hotel?
Oh, none.
Oh, sure. You were just visiting.
Tickets, please. Kindly have your tickets ready, please.
Could you, loan me a couple of dollars? I seem to have lost my wallet.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't loan an ex-con a plastic rosary. There's a rumor going around that we're not reliable.
Tickets, please.
Excuse me,
Stop that, Betty Joe. Pull yourself together. Tickets, please.
I got them, Dad.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir?
St. Petersburg.
638. Thank you. St. Petersburg, mister?
No, just the next stop.
Oh, Fort Scott. 2 1/4. Nothing smaller?
No.
What you need, mister, is one of our commuter's books.
I don't think so.
Saves you 18% on one-way fares, 32% on round-tripper.
No, thank you.
Suit yourself. Thank you. Tickets, please.
Getting homesick for a number again? This ain't no place to make a score. Suppose he counts it. I know that type of citizen. Counts his fingers every time he shakes his hand.
I'll be off the train by then.
And Sammy takes a rap? Oh, no, friend. Just drop it in the mailbox or something after you get off the train. Or I start hollering. Guess who I'll be pointing at.
I've got to get this back to him.
Sure. Tell him you only lifted it for the exercise.
Forgot how quiet it is here.
Excuse me. Hi, Ed.
Hey, Betty Joe. Welcome home.
How'd you know we'd be on this train?
Oh, I didn't. The chief just wanted to send some papers on to St. Petersburg.
You wanted something?
Just wondering if there was a good hotel in town.
No.
How do you measure the difference in thieves? By the amount stolen? In the conscience of Dr. Richard Kimball, there is little difference between the thief in the train and himself. It will be a long time before he forgets that face.
Where's that taxi? 2 trains a day, and that bird brain manages to miss them as regularly as clockwork.
I'll give you a lift, Mr. Unger.
Well, that's mighty considerate of you, Glenn, isn't it, Betty Joe? Well, they can have the big cities. You don't get service like this in
Rayford.
It's good to have you back, Betty Joe.
Thanks, Glenn.
The dairy or home, Mr. Unger?
home.
I don't know. Dairy might be a handy place to have a baby.
Oh, Betty Joe. I should think you had the decency to.
So what, air out the laundry at home? Why should we? Glenn knows everybody knows. Neil and I aren't married, and I'm going to have a baby. Dirty, dirty.
Well, you're saying it.
I'm just reading the label you put there. Worthless. Like you'd put on a bottle of unpasteurized milk.
Glenn, I'm sorry you have to be witness to all this. Now, that's enough.
Certainly, Father. I'd rather take a room downtown.
Sure you would. Neil's being released today, and you meet him at some cheap roadhouse, and I won't allow that. Oh, Glenn, at least let me pay for the gas, because if I don't, the chief's gonna raise our taxes.
No, Mr. Unger, you don't have to.
My wallet.
Well, maybe it dropped out on the floor.
Say, Glenn, if it isn't there, I want you to drive down to the depot and have them telephone to the next station and ask the conductor if somebody picked it up.
Welcome home. Mr. and Mrs. Neil Hollis and family are at home.
I'd like to talk to the manager, please.
I'm he. Edward He. Waiter, bartender, and owner.
I need a job. I saw the sign in the window.
It's a very temporary position.
Well, that's all right. I have this debt to repay.
Please, don't try to explain. $1.25 an hour, deduct for meals. You better clean up. My customers are suspicious enough of my food. In there.
Father, you're really too much. The flowers and the decorations. And the lovely little cakes from Swenson's. A surprise shower. You really thought of everything.
You better get some rest.
A rest and a big glass of milk and everything will be just fine.
Yeah, we gotta think this out.
There'll be no one to meet him and he won't know why. I can't even call him. Please let me go back to Rayford. Neil will be looking for me. Please, Father.
That tall man. The one with the dark hair, you know. The one that got off the train with us. He was in the restroom with me. He must have followed me in there.
Father, please.
He's in Fort Scott.
Listen to me.
There's Roy Unger. Who's this? Well, give me the chief. Well, he's got to be somewhere. All right, use that expensive radio that we taxpayers bought for you. Call him. There's a thief with 80 of my dollars walking around the streets of Fort Scott. I want him arrested. Well, sure, I can give you a description.
Life is just a bowl of noodles. Every day I cook almond duck, siu mai, crab meat, egg foo young, and what do my customers order? The #1 dinner.
I finished the dishes.
There'll be plenty more, pots and pans and... What are you doing? Going someplace else for dinner?
No, I had the #1 dinner. I'm all finished. I'd like to get my money out of that debt.
Yes. 4 hours. Well, let me see. 4 hours at $125. $5 minus $120 for #1 dinner. That's
$380.
$380. $380. Here you are, $380.
I'll be back in half an hour if there are any more pots and pans.
Please. Mine?
Hi, I wonder if you could help me. Looking for a man about 5'8", 5'9", 50 years old. I think his last name begins with a U.
You, huh? is Bob Underwood, but he's in the Army.
This man has a pregnant daughter.
Oh, the Unger girl. Yeah, she sure is. The Unger place is down toward the reservoir there. It's the biggest one on Cedar Street.
No thanks. I think I'll walk. It's a nice day.
For some.
Does Mr. Unger live here?
He isn't home.
I found a wallet. I thought it might be his.
Well, you ought to know. You took it.
It has some initials on it, if you could possibly identify.
RTU. And if you expect any thanks for bringing back an empty wallet...
Count it.
Well, my father said he had $80 in here.
Would you please count it?
He was so sure it had been stolen. He doesn't have much faith in people. Well, I suppose you're entitled to a reward, but I don't know how much my father would want to give you.
Well, I don't either, so let's just forget it, Mrs.
Miss.
Goodbye, Miss Unger.
Oh, hello. Who's this? Oh, hi, Frank. Betty Jo. Is my father there? Oh, thanks. It's nice being back. Dad, I know you're busy. I only wanted to... Please don't start that again. Yes, you're right, and they're right. So some people have boils. You've got me.
Mr. Unger, please. Mr. Unger, this is Neil Hollis. I'm here. What do you want me to do?
And do you have dishes left?
All right. You got nothing to do till that train comes.
Same wages?
Yeah, same wages.
Well, you can start by taking these across the street to the dairy. And make sure I get credit for the empties, huh? Maybe $1.70.
$1.70.
Oh, I heard you.
Miss Unger?
Oh, if it isn't the Good Samaritan again. Change your mind about a reward, Good Saint?
The train doesn't leave for 2 hours.
So I like to wait. What's your problem?
I'd like to see you return that wallet to your father.
Oh, I get the message. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect.
I'm not going to the police.
Why not? Well, I'm not giving my father back a dime. I'm sorry I cost you a merit badge. But as soon as I'm on that train, you can tell my father anything you want. After all, you just found a wallet, right?
Right.
Wrong. My father said there were 420s in that wallet. That's not the way you brought it back.
I needed train fare.
How did you make up the difference?
I spent the morning learning the fine art of Chinese cooking.
Washing dishes?
Yeah.
Oh, my old man would never believe that. According to him, the whole world's on the road to perdition, and I'm leading the parade.
You think running away will help?
My father already thinks I'm no good. Why should I disappoint him?
Well, I can think of one reason.
Haven't you heard? Betty Jo Unger isn't fit to raise a baby. She couldn't get married because her boyfriend was in jail. 6 months I waited in a broken-down motel. And the day Neil gets out on parole, Daddy Warbuck shows up. You don't argue with Roy T. Unger. Had enough problems, Sam. Could I have my bag? I hope you give him a good race, Sam. Whoever you're running from. Me, I'm out of condition. Don't look so worried. It'll give you wrinkles.
Mr. Unger, I came for the money.
George, Jack. Why don't you boys quit early? I'll finish up.
Look, let's not play games. You got the money or don't you?
When I say I'll do something, I'll do it. There's $500 in there. It represents a lot of good, honest work. But what do I get for it except your word?
500?
I don't bargain with jailbirds. I told you what I do.
Tell it to your cows, Mr. Unger. You said $1,000.
I'm paying you $500 now in condition you don't talk to my daughter, right?
The price was $1,000 and it still is.
You get the other $500 after the baby's born. Now get out of here.
You any good with a hand car? You shouldn't scare me like that. I thought it was Roy T. himself.
Miss Unger, your father's dead.
accident. He tried to kill me. Honest, honey, he was like a madman. He had a bottle. I was only trying to defend myself. I was trying to get the bottle away from him. That's all. I was just trying to get the bottle.
Hey, how far is it to the nearest bus station?
Ain't no buses running this time of year. Leastways till you reach the highway.
How far is that?
14 mile. $9.50. Ain't dead head back, you know.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I know. Nice day for a walk.
Just hold it. Right there, mister. Well, I don't want to sound too small-townish, but what you tell me just doesn't quite add up. Now, you tell me that your name is, Bob Mossman, yet you have no identification. You tell me you came into town on the morning train. You found the wallet, spent the whole day looking for the owner, and you finally turned it over to Betty Jo Unger, huh? Well, it's too bad there's nobody at home out there right now. Look, tell me something. Why didn't you just come waltzing in here like any other upright citizen and let me do all that work for you?
I guess I just didn't think. I asked around.
Huh? Who'd you ask?
A taxi driver.
And?
The man that runs the Chinese restaurant.
And? Now, that couldn't have taken you clear up till 4:45, could it? No, Mr. Unger gave me a darned accurate description of the man that he claimed stole his wallet. And you... Press speaking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, I'll be right there. Just don't touch anything, you hear? You know, I'm kind of glad I asked you to drop in, Mr. Mossman. They just found Mr. Unger, dead. You like milk, Mr. Mossman? Glenn? Glenn? Mr. Unger's been murdered. Keep an eye on this one till I get back, huh? We don't find suspects like him every day.
You want to send a make sheet to county?
No, plenty of time for that when I get back. You just concentrate on seeing that he's comfortable. Right where he is.
Hey, he'll be here, Bill.
Hey, do me a favor. Phone Betty Jo Unger and ask her, real gentle, to come over here to the station.
Does she know?
Yeah. Yeah, they phoned her first.
Hello. No, Chief just stepped out. Yeah, just a minute, I'll find out. Yeah, we got the application in the mail this morning. Yeah, no, but it'll take a couple of days. I realize that. Well, if it comes by then, you just let us know. There's not much of a view from there. You better come back and sit down. I think we'll both be a little more comfortable now.
Here. You drink this, Betty Joe. Make you feel better, honey. I gotta get out of these wet clothes. I'm afraid your dad's clothes won't fit me too hot.
Neil, if they'd have let you, you would have married me, wouldn't you?
Betty Joe, you know I would have. You know that. Now you drink that, honey.
We can still get married before the baby comes.
Betty Joe, if you help me, everything's going to work out just fine. Nobody's going to believe that I didn't mean to hurt him. Nobody. So now I've got to go away. But I'll be back.
Promise?
Didn't I come for you the minute I got out?
I don't have anybody else now.
We don't need anybody else. Remember. Now, you help me find a pair of slacks or something. Then I'll get out of here. And I promise you, everything's going to go just like we planned. No, don't.
If they know we're inside, they'll break in. That would be worse.
Oh, good afternoon, Miss Unger.
Chief?
I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you.
Betty Joe, I expect you'd like to be alone for a while, so I'll be going.
Hey, just a minute, son.
Yes, sir?
What's that you got all over your pants there?
I don't know. I guess I just walked through a sprinkler.
Oh, it looks a little bit like milk to me. Now, what would you think?
Look, I don't have to answer any questions.
Oh, I think maybe you do.
I don't... Take your hands off me. Ah, all right, wait. What do you think I did, anyway? All right, wait a minute. Leave me alone. I told you 27 times I was just taking a walk. All right, you keep shoving me. I won't say a word. Nothing.
Sit down and shut up. Sit down. Book him, prints and all, and then send it off to the county. And after that, we'll do the same thing for our other customer inside.
Fill it up. Everything.
The battery's any good in this thing?
Yeah, it should be.
Fort Scott Station, Tuesday, June 9, 5:20 p.m. I suppose you tell the little magic box your name. Neil Hollis. Convictions?
2.
Arrests?
I don't remember.
You're out on parole right now, aren't you, Neil?
Does that give you a reason to lean on me? Because I've got a record?
Mr. Kress, Neil Hollis didn't kill my father. I did.
Won't you sit down, Miss Unger?
I went down to the dairy to give my father the lost wallet. The one that man there was kind enough to return. Intact, by the way. And then
You don't have to say anything more right now, Betty Jo.
No, I want to explain. Well, while I was there, I told my father I was going to leave for good. You know my father. Right off the bat, he's yelling, and then I start yelling, and... Well, this time I refused to do what he wanted. I guess I said some pretty terrible things, and, he began hitting me. And I picked up a bottle and hit him. And then all the milk began to fall, and until he was nearly covered. I guess that's all of it. Remember that label I was talking about? I guess my father was right, except worthless seems a little mild right now.
May I talk to her a moment, please?
You ought to let him go, Mr. Kress.
Soon enough, now don't worry. In the meantime, why don't you go back into my office and relax, and we can talk in a little while. Right now, I want to phone the hospital and check. They may have more details on the cause of death.
I want to sign a confession, legal and everything.
All in good time. Len, could you take Betty Jo back into my office?
Look, would you please let me talk to her a few minutes?
Well, you got something to tell us about all this?
You believe her confession?
Nope. What's that got to do with it?
Well, I don't either. I think I might be able to help.
5 minutes. That's all.
They can't keep you, Sam.
I saw him kill your father.
I know.
What did he say it was? An accident, self-defense?
But what's the difference? He didn't mean to do it. They wouldn't believe him either. And they would just about put Neil away for good. But with a baby and all, I can get off with a year. Maybe less. I've never done anything for anybody before.
I heard your father offer him $500. Why? To stay away from you.
Neil wouldn't stand still for anything like that.
Well, why did he go to the dairy?
Don't please just let me do this one thing.
The baby deserves to be born somewhere other than a prison ward. I can't let you...
Yes, you can, Sam, and you will. You're afraid of the police, or you would have told them by now. And I still think you stole that wallet. Maybe you've done worse. So if you try and stop me, I'll make so much noise the chief will find out. Whatever it is. And I swear to God, I will, Sam. I will.
Betty Jo, you all right?
You know, I'd like to get out of here sometime today.
Yeah, I suppose you would.
What do you want? She confessed.
Look, now maybe she did, but you better keep your
Hold
mouth
it,
shut.
Glenn. That won't do any good.
He's right, Glenn.
You shut up.
Did he have any money on him?
Money? What do you mean, what money?
Nothing, is it? Just a thought.
Oh, that's very cute of you, friend. But here it is. All my worldly possessions.
Glenn? All right, now that everybody's finished playing policeman, maybe I can get some work done. Okay, Hollis, take your stuff and get out.
But you can't.
Now, we don't have enough evidence to hold him, and we do have a confession, remember?
Bye.
You two, out. No, nothing personal. But I am rather busy, and I do need the space, okay?
Happy running, Sam.
Town isn't paying you to break up their equipment. Well, get in your car. Go follow him.
Which one?
Well, now, one of them is wearing Roy T. Unger sweater, but you use your own judgment, Glenn.
Past, and no safety in the present. Even here in the remote village of Small Groves, Wyoming, the most ordinary day may explode in his face. Rumors that Richard Kimball had been seen in the city of Casper have been relayed to every law enforcement agency in this corner of the state.
Is that all?
Yep.
Hey, come on, Jake. I gotta get moving.
Okay. That's, 88 cents with tax.
Okay, I'll see you on the weekend.
More coffee?
No, thank you. How much do I owe you?
That's, 61 cents. Give me a lift?
Oh, you going east?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take you as far as the junction.
This is Constable Wilkins. I want to talk to the sheriff in Taggart City.
Well, of course it's urgent. Hello? This is Jake Wilkins, over in Small Groves. I want to talk to Sheriff Holcomb.
Yeah, hello, Jake. Russ Atkinson. Sheriff isn't in yet. Anything I can do for you?
Well, when will he be in? I want to talk to him personally.
Well, if it's real important, I might be able to locate him for you.
Well, I don't know. It's about that Kimball. That poster you sent me?
Yeah? What about him?
Well, I think I better wait and talk to the sheriff. Tell him to call me as soon as he gets in. Oh, that punk deputy. It's really important. Well, I just served this guy not 10 minutes ago.
You mean he was here?
Eggs, toast, and coffee.
Where'd he go?
Well, I don't know. Figures he couldn't have gotten too far by now.
Are you going to tell him?
Well, of course I'm going to tell him.
Hey. Jake, I got a better idea. Why don't you catch this guy yourself? Yeah, the papers will be full of it. The sightseers will flock in here to see the town that caught Kimball. We might even need a full-time sheriff instead of a part-time constable, huh? Jake, it might be your one chance to get out of the kitchen.
I'm going to turn east up here at the junction, but this will be a better place for you to get another hitch.
Thanks. I saw you sign.
Well, the job doesn't pay much. It's $20 a week and meals, and there's a cabin out in the back. It's only temporary.
That's okay.
Well, you don't look like a transient.
Well, how many have you seen?
What's your name?
Jim McGuire.
Lois Carter.
How do you do?
How do you do? Just my son and I live here, and it's not very exciting. I'm trying to get this place ready by the time the new highway's open. When do you want to start?
How about now?
Fine. The first thing you can do is to take these shades down to cabin 8, and if you see my son around there, will you tell him he's got 15 minutes to get ready for school?
What's his name?
Kenny. He's probably playing around the back somewhere.
All right, I'll get him. Hi.
Hello?
Nest?
They never even had a chance to be born. Every time the wind blows, it knocks them down. I buried them, but they weren't even birds yet. They were just ideas for birds.
That one of yours?
Birds don't belong to anybody. If you capture them, they die. Don't come in here. This is my place. It's mine.
All right, I won't go any place I'm not invited.
Nobody gets invited in here. Nobody.
It's
just that I think she will build another nest.
Yeah, she always does. But the wind always knocks it down again.
Well, there's only one thing to do.
What?
Build a birdhouse.
I could never build a birdhouse.
Yeah, you can. All you need is some wood. And we'll put it up high in the tree and let the wind blow all at once.
It can't fall down.
That's right.
Who are you?
Well, my name is Jim McGuire. I'm going to be helping out around here for a while. Hey, that reminds me, your mother wanted me to get you ready for school.
I don't have to go to school Saturday. We can build it then. Mr. McGuire's gonna build me a birdhouse.
Why, did he tell you that?
No. He promised me with his eyes.
That's right. Any strangers at all, just let me know.
Oh, hi, Russ.
Hey. What's on your mind?
Well, the sheriff was just curious about that call. About Kimball?
Oh. Oh, that. Yeah, well, that was just a mistake. This fellow sort of looked like him, and I thought, no, well, it wasn't. And so I didn't want you fellows to get all steamed up over a false alarm.
And why the gun? Well, where is this guy you thought was Kimball and then decided wasn't?
Well, I don't know. No, I really don't.
Was anybody with you when you saw him?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think Carl Ritter was here.
Let's go talk to him.
Well, he's not here.
Look, Jake, if you're playing games, forget it, because if you lose, you could get in a lot of trouble.
Well, no, he's a trucker. He's out on a route somewhere. He won't be back until tomorrow sometime.
Okay. I'll just stick around and then, just in case. In the meantime, why don't you fix me something to eat?
Yeah, okay. Can't say I don't cooperate with the county.
Kenny? Never mind.
Excuse me. Is there something wrong?
No, it's all right. I'm sorry. Can I offer you a cup of coffee or something?
Thank you.
It's left over from this morning.
Oh, that's fine.
Please forgive me if I seem a little distracted. I just come from a meeting with Kenny's teacher. I'm sure that she's a very nice lady.
What is it, spitballs or passing notes?
I only wish it were.
Thank you.
Afraid it's a little bit more serious.
What'd she say?
Well, it seems according to her that Kenny is somewhat of a problem child.
Is that what she said?
Oh, not exactly. She isn't the first. She said today that during the study period, Kenny got into an argument with another child, and he started shouting, "Eggs only hatch in dead things," over and over and over again. Two of the little girls started to cry.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean he's a problem child.
I've been thinking of taking Kenny out of school and sending him someplace, that's equipped to deal with children who are...
I've only known Kenny for a short while, but I find him very bright, very alert.
Thank you for saying that.
Well, I'd better get back outside.
Jim, thank you again.
Still don't know why you're hanging around here. Heard the dispatcher say that Carl wouldn't be back until tomorrow, didn't you?
What are you complaining about? I've accounted for half of your business today.
I got other things to do.
Hey, Jake, I just came from the Clarion office. Larry Quinn wants to know if he can borrow the wanted poster you got. He wants to run Kimball's picture in the paper tomorrow.
I don't know.
Let him have it, Jake. You're through with it.
It's on my desk. Hey, they gonna run that picture of me they got over there?
Well, that could be dangerous. Somebody might get confused and take a shot at you.
Is that the way they run the law over in Taggart City? Sitting around drinking coffee all night long?
Well, it's a lot better than washing out cups back there.
Well, you got your picture. Why don't you beat it?
I thought it was funny.
I'm up to here with what you think.
Give me a refill.
That's a good house, Mr. McGuire.
Yeah, the eggs ought to be safe in there.
You care about a bird, don't you?
I care.
Would you like to see my place?
Am I invited?
Yes.
Okay. One of those things.
Dead things. For the birds to build their nests with.
Why do you call them dead things, Kenny?
'Cause they're not alive, that's why.
What's the difference between a dead thing and a live thing?
Everything's supposed to do something. If it does, it's a live thing. If it doesn't, it's dead.
Why are toys and clothes dead things?
Stuffed animals are to play with. If you can't play with them anymore, they're dead. Clothes are to wear.
Well, you can't wear them anymore, they're dead. I never looked at it that way before.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, honey.
If I'd known you were coming this early, I would have fixed you some breakfast.
I'll settle for a cup of coffee. Well, where's Kenny? I got something for him.
Well, I'm not sure. Oh, here they come.
Who's out with him?
Well, his name is Jim McGuire. I hired him to, help me get the place ready.
Hi.
Steve, this is Jim McGuire. Steve Jackson.
How do you... Oh, excuse me. I guess I brought some of Kenny's cave away with me. Well, I'll get the shades up.
You took him into your cave?
What's the big deal?
Oh, it's nothing. Kenny, guess what? Steve brought you a present.
You like to fish?
I don't know.
Tell you what, I got another rod right here in the truck. Now we can run right down to the river and maybe come back with dinner.
Steve, I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, honey. Give the kid a break.
Well, put this in the house first. Maybe that's not a good idea, Steve. Kenny isn't... Well, he isn't like other children. I mean, he's...
Oh, don't worry. I never saw a kid yet I couldn't get along with. And this one's yours.
Going fishing?
With Mr. Jackson.
And how'd you want to go?
I don't think so.
Then why are you going?
Well, I couldn't very well say no.
Well, that's all you have to do. When somebody wants you to do something you don't want to do, you just say no.
Just no?
Well, I think no thank you'd be better. And then smile.
Smile?
Well, then they'll know you really mean it.
Yeah, that's him, all right.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, I mean, his hair's a little longer, a little blacker, but that's him.
You gave him a lift, you say? How far?
Well, let's see. I took him,
Come on.
no, I left him off at the gas station, you know, just this side of the junction, about 9-10 miles out of town. Hey, Jake, what about my dinner?
The griddle's hot. Fix it yourself.
Kenny! What are you doing home so early? What happened? Kenny, why don't you go out and play for a little while? What happened?
I don't know. Usually I get along great with kids, but that one, he's something else.
What does that mean?
You don't get mad. I like the kid, but you've got to admit he's not exactly Huckleberry Finn.
Steve, I think you better go.
Hey, you really are angry, aren't you? Look, it's not my fault, you know. I mean, the normal everyday kid likes swimming, fishing, stuff like that.
And if somebody doesn't like the things that you think they should, then they're not normal.
I didn't say that.
Didn't you?
depends on what the something else is, kid.
It's me. That's what Mr. Jackson said I was. Is it good?
Well, how do you happen to say it? Kenny?
Mr. Jackson took me out to the river. And we were just sitting there fishing. And something started pulling at my pole. Then Mr. Jackson started yelling. He grabbed the pole and pulled a fish out of the water. The hook was sticking right out of the fish's mouth. But Mr. Jackson just yanked it out. He wasn't careful. He just yanked it out. Then I felt the fish scream. But Mr. Jackson just threw it in the dirt. And it started drowning in the air. It started breathing great big breaths. Then all of a sudden, I felt like I was in the water. And every time I tried to breathe, the water ran into me. And I knew I'd die if the fish died. Then Mr. Jackson said, "Put it in the basket." I tried to look at him, but I couldn't. But then I remembered what you told me. And I looked him right in the eyes and I said, "No, thank you." I tried to make my face smile, but it wouldn't. Then I threw the fish back in the water. It just laid there for a minute, and it started breathing in the water. Pretty soon it was all right again, and it went away. It was a beautiful fish, Mr. McGuire. But just now, when we got home, he told my mother I was something else, and I didn't know what he meant.
Well, he meant that you're not just like everyone else. You're just a little different.
Is being different a bad thing?
No, it's hard, sometimes very lonely.
I'm not lonely anymore.
Kenny!
Well, you better go let your mother know where you are.
Kenny! What were you doing?
I was watching Mr. McGuire paint.
Kenny, I don't want you bothering Mr. McGuire.
Mr. McGuire's my friend. You don't bother a friend.
Kenny, I want you to walk, not run, and tell Mr. McGuire to hide. Now do as I say, Kenny. Those men are going to hurt him.
I'm the deputy from Taggart City. We got a report that a wanted man was seen around here yesterday. Have you seen him, ma'am?
Sorry, I haven't. We're not open yet, you know.
What's back there?
We're just some more empty cabins.
Mind if we take a look?
Go ahead. But honestly, I haven't seen anybody.
Hey, what's all this junk?
Probably belongs to the kid.
That kid we saw?
Yeah, Mrs. Carter's boy.
What's back there?
I don't know. Let's take a walk.
Why do those men want to hurt you? Mr. McGuire, you can stay in here as long as you want.
Kenny, I can't stay here. I have to be leaving tonight.
Leaving?
I don't want to, but I have to.
You can't leave.
I'm sorry.
Get out of here! Get out of my place! You're not invited anymore!
Kenny, if you go out there, those men will hurt me.
I don't care!
Kenny!
Must have hitched a ride out yesterday.
Yeah. No reason for him to stick around here.
I hope for your sake we didn't lose him.
Well, I didn't do anything.
That's right. You didn't.
Jim! Kenny told me that he brought you here. I should have known.
And you knew who I was all the time?
No. No, not at first.
Why didn't you tell the police?
Because the paper said that you were a doctor. For children. I have a son who needs you.
You think Kenny's sick?
That's what I want you to tell me.
I was a pediatrician, not a...
Not a psychiatrist. I know it.
Then what makes you think I'd be of any help?
Because you've been invited in there. And I never have.
Come on. Are you afraid?
No.
These are Kenny's dead things. The word shock you?
No, it doesn't shock me. When he says and does these things, it shocks other people.
And then what?
Well, then I began to wonder if maybe there really is something wrong with him. And I'm just too blind to see it because he's mine. And when I began to wonder too much, we run away to some new place. But it's always the same.
Did you ever stop to think that when you wonder, he might wonder too? That's why he hides in here. Have you, ever asked him why he calls these things dead?
No. Is that what you did?
Have you ever, felt a fish scream? Or seen him drowned in the air?
No.
Well, he has.
But what does it mean?
I guess it depends on how you look at it.
How would you look at it? If he were yours.
Well, I'd stop wondering. And I'd stop running away. You know, the thing you worry about the most, may turn out to be the thing that'll make Kenny about 2 heads taller than all the rest of the world. He's an original Mrs. Carter. That's a rare thing. And I get all these things out of here, I'd get them out in the open. Because if he keeps hiding in here, one day he might just not come out. Yeah, well, that's what I'd do if he were mine.
Thank you. You can leave here now if you want to. The police drove off about 5 minutes ago.
Will you say goodbye for me?
You know, I still say he looks like a regular guy. Just like anybody else.
What'd you expect him to look like?
Well, I don't know, but a murderer. Hey, Steve, does this guy look like a murderer to you?
See you, Jake. It's that guy McGuire.
What?
Lois's.
The motel?
Yeah. We were just there. And she's alone with him.
Give me a lift?
Okay, hop in.
So the boss says to me, Wally, we're going to make you our new dispatcher. Oh, boy, I looked at him straight and I said, no, sir. Not me. You're not going to lock me in any 3x5 office all day. Out here on the road. That's where a man can breathe. You know what I mean? He's really free.
Yeah.
Kimball wants to take it off. He's not in his cabin.
I'd better talk to Mrs. Carter again.
Steve, Kenny's gone. Well, he's not in his room. Well, I just thought he was in his room and...
Maybe Kimball took the kid, like a hostage or something.
He could have, but it doesn't figure.
Well, don't worry, honey. We'll find him.
Well, if Kimball didn't take him, where is he?
If we're still around here someplace. Just to be on the safe side, I'll put in a call to the highway patrol.
Tracks are bumpy.
Why did you follow me?
I wasn't ready yet.
Ready for what?
for you to go away. Aren't you glad to see me, Mr. McGuire?
Sure I am. Come on.
You aren't truly glad to see me, are you?
Well, I'm glad you wanted to come, Kenny, but you can't.
Why?
I've got to get you home somehow.
I'm not going home. I want to be with you.
As soon as it gets dark, I'll find a phone booth and call your mother.
I'm not going. No matter what you do, I'm not going.
Now, your mother must be worried about you. I have to get you home.
No, thank you.
Kenny, no matter what either one of us want, we can't stay together.
Why?
Well, I'm different than other people.
Like me?
No, not exactly. See, some people think I broke the law and they want to punish me. I can't let them find me until I can prove I didn't. And if you're with me, they will find me.
What do they think you did?
I think I killed someone.
If they capture you, you'll die?
Yes,
Did you tell them that you didn't do it?
yes.
And they didn't believe you?
No, they didn't believe me.
I would believe you.
Nothing, Russ. We looked all over. No sign of Kimball or the kid.
Well, we've got every unit in 3 counties on emergency alert.
Maybe somebody will recognize him from the newspaper.
Yeah, that paper. Seems a bit strange, doesn't it? I mean, Mrs. Carter saying that she didn't know that McGuire was Kimball.
Well, maybe she didn't.
Copy of the Clarion in her room.
Well, maybe she didn't recognize him from the picture.
You spotted him, Mr. Jackson. Even Jake here did. Well, might as well pull out. Don't you be surprised, Jake, if the sheriff office gives you a call tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Jackson. If anything happens, call me.
Who's that? What's the matter?
Steve Richard Kimball didn't take Kenny. Kenny followed him.
How do you know?
He just called me to tell me where they were. Where are you going?
Lois, the man's a murderer.
Please. Please put your rule book away for just 1 minute. I can't turn him over to the police now.
But Kenny's out there with him.
I know.
I want to hold you for a while. Don't eat so fast, you get a stomachache.
I've already got one. Know what I think?
What?
I think that if we stayed together, we'd both be safe.
Where would we go?
Somewhere we could build a place like the cave. The wind could blow like anything, but nothing could hurt us.
Kenny, no matter where you hide, there's always someone that can hurt you if you let them.
You hide,
Yeah, I have to, you don't.
but I'm different too.
Kenny, different is just a way of saying special. That's what you are, special. And if you believe that, if you really believe it, there's not a wind anywhere that can hurt you. Mother, going to take you home.
Look, don't ask me what I'm doing here. I'm not even sure myself.
Where's Mrs. Carter?
She's probably on the other side of the county by now, playing decoy. She sent me for Kenny.
I want you to go with Mr. Jackson.
Mr. McGuire, you and me, we're both special, aren't we?
Yeah.
Guess I underestimated you, Mrs. Carter.
Why don't you just do whatever it is you're going to do?
You knew who he was all the time, didn't you?
Aren't you going to arrest me?
If I did arrest you, what would you say? That a vicious killer threatened to harm your boy if you told where he was.
Well, that's what people say about him, isn't it? That he's a vicious killer?
That's right, ma'am. That's what people say.
Why won't they believe he didn't hurt anybody?
I don't know. Why do you believe him?
Because he told me. Don't you believe him?
Sure. Sure I do.
Why?
I guess because you do.
For Richard Kimball, there is no sanctuary from the night wind. There is no cave in which to hide. But occasionally, along the road, a fugitive will find a hand extended in trust, and the night wind will not seem so cold.